What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and continue our voyage across the Z. In the previous episode, we had messed around, so unfortunately I had used up all of my time in I don't even know what it was called, inside the, what is that thing called? Inside the, oh my god, I can't believe, you ever have that thing where you just can't figure out the word that you need? The archives. Oh my god, why was that such a hard word for me to remember? That's not even that complicated of a word, but now, we actually really, we need fuel. We need fuel badly, and if we don't get fuel, I need to go to the Chelinet though too. Let's go to Nuncio. I'm going to pick up, so what I'm probably going to end up doing here is off camera, what I'll do is I'll sail around in circles around Scrimshander until I get enough time allotted, and then basically once I have like 20 archive time, the next part in our quest is at the bottom of Scrimshander, and we already did it with like 7 archive time, and we didn't even make it near the bottom, and so unfortunately I've got to reevaluate my strategy there. I've got to change up the way that I want to do that, and so we need something awaits us as much as possible. The problem is that every single time we go into Scrimshander, we've got to give them something, and as of right now, I think in my hold, got 10 Z stories, and I've got some hunting trophies. I do need a few more. We're almost done with, let's see here. We've got the, what's that guy's name? I'm not remembering things today. My brain is feeling very, very dull today. I don't know if I just didn't get enough sleep last night or what it was. I was up almost all night working on something. Then I got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then because I got the puppy, I had to jump back up and be like, all right, busy day. This is going to be one of those Mondays. That's just what I've got to accept. It's going to be one of those Mondays, but that doesn't get me dead with Adventure's Desire. That's right. He needs 7 of something, if I recall correctly. I believe it was Outlandish Artifacts, if I recall. McMaster's Tavern, or Haven. We're going to grab a couple. I don't even know if I came down here in the last couple days, but if I have my port report. Oh, I don't have my port report. All right, well, we have one now. Inside the shops. Ooh, fuel is expensive here. Damn, is it expensive. Let me take a look at my Mapazola. The easiest way for me to do this. Palmerston's got cheap fuel. I think Dahoot has cheap fuel, but I can't recall. We're going to keep the lamp killed, though, because we don't want to run out of fuel down here. I'm going to try and hit everything I can just so we keep earning money and we can keep upgrading our ship. We don't really need to at this point. We can essentially kill just about everything that wants to mess with us. I wouldn't put it by something like Mountain Doom or whatever that big-ass mountain thing, Mount Heartless or whatever the shit it's called. If you kill that, you get the Heart of the Mountain, which does some other stuff. It's useful for a couple of side quests or whatever. We got a rat barge over here. I'm going to go ahead and ready both of my firing solutions. We're going to be in on him. This item right here is absolutely fantastic. It's one of those little things that we picked up along the way. The blue Sinilac is hardcore. We've got a firkin of Prisoner's Honey. I think Prisoner's Honey, for whatever reason, was useful maybe in the Empire of Hands, but I don't remember correctly. There was some like odd item we need to take back to the Empire of Hands to help them build the Zeppelin. Really surprised we're not dead yet. Then again, they've taken a lot of the edge out of the game since it first came out. This game used to kill you like instantaneously all the time. Like random stuff would just go wrong and you'd be dead. Nowadays, not quite as vicious as it used to be. Let's see, we can cure our sharpness. Let me get my port report from Polythreme while we're here. We do have Claymen. I thought they had fuel here. They do not have fuel here. Yeah, let's carry Claymen back to London. We have 6 units of cargo space. Should be fine. Yeah, I think, oh good, I did save it, the Memento Mori. I was a little bit worried that I sold it. People keep saying that it's better than what I have here, but if you take a look at the Bandersnatch, warm-up time and crew damage are 4. So it's equal in that amount. Its stagger time is only 2 seconds, whereas with the Bandersnatch, its stagger amount is 8 seconds. And then it's 34. The only difference is it requires a torpedo, and torpedoes aren't that expensive, so I'm inclined to disagree that it's the best item in the game. I would actually probably rather sell it or use it for one of the storyline advancements. The iron and the mirrors are great, but the iron, with 6 iron, that gives you maybe that gives you 1 bottom and 1 top damage, maybe. And then the mirrors, it's only 3. It's not really that much. I just strongly disagree that that's the best item in the game. The damage-wise, it's just not even on the same level. This one does 34, 4. This one does 24, 32, 4. warm-up time is the same, and its stagger amount is a quarter of what this one's stagger amount is. And the stagger amount is really, really important because it puts the enemy on their ass so that they can't mess with you. So maybe I'm reading something wrong, but people seem pretty adamant about the fact that it's the best item in the game, and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I could be wrong. Then again, there's not a lot of information about this game either. Like, you try to go online and you try to figure stuff out, but it's just like the wiki is not really super well populated, which is weird because it's a really, really popular Steam game from what I can tell. Like, a lot of people really, really like it. We still haven't gotten Something Awaits Us either, but ultimately my goal here is just to sail in circles around Scrimshander for probably a couple of hours just to see. We've got unfinished pirates over here. Yeah, I don't have a problem killing pirates. Let's murder some pirates. If they didn't want to die, they shouldn't have gotten into piracy. Then again, we're getting into philosophically weird territory where it's like, is it okay to kill a bad person? Is it like a live and let live situation? Like, let them be bad, but you don't be bad? You know, like, what's the call there? Do you stop them if they do bad things to other people? Is that the demarcation line? Is that when you're like, "Pacow," and you take them out? I don't know. Bought a gun this week. Kind of a weird thing. Nah, it wasn't like, it was just kind of a spontaneous thing. It's a spontaneous thing. A buddy of mine won a shotgun. He was at a gun show when he won a shotgun, but he's already got like 3 shotguns, and so he was like, yeah, you want it? He was like, the MSRP is like $600, and he sold it to me for like a quarter of that. You know, like, you want it? And I was like, well, yeah, at that price. I mean, I'd be crazy to say no, right? Even as far as like resale value goes, I could probably get double, triple what I paid for it because it's brand new. It's like legitimately inside like the original case with all the branding and everything. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, yeah, I'll take it, man. Go out shooting. I do enjoy guns. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. Shooting is quite a bit of fun. Going out and just letting that boomstick go. Blah! Pretty excited about it. I'm on my wait list right now, though. California at the 10 or 2 week wait period or whatever. I can visit the Devilis. Yeah, a message from the Devilis still nestles in your pocket. Oh, that's because I haven't delivered it to London yet. That's what it was. I forgot she wanted me to deliver that to London. There we go. Now we've got fuel. And at the Daily Bread, I don't think we need anything there. We're sitting at 6,000. That's not too terrible. Did I need to go somewhere for... Do I still have the Blind Bruiser? Am I still messing with him? I don't think I am. But I want to be sure before I get back to London because it's a great way to get yourself a wound. And I'm not planning on dying at this point. We're almost 40 episodes into the series. We're almost 40 episodes in, which means that we've been doing major work. This is like one of my longest running series right here. And I'm pretty happy about it. I'm happy that I've had the ability to, you know, keep this series on. I know anytime you start getting a series up to 50, 60 episodes, and, you know, viewership starts to dwindle or whatever, you start getting nervous, and you're like, well, maybe I'll replace it real fast, because at the end of the day, it's kind of my job, you know? And it's not something I really like admitting, but I'd rather be honest with you guys and treat you like adults than, like, bullshit and say that I'm doing things for reasons that I'm not doing it. And so, it's cool, though, that I've been able to carry this for so long, and I don't plan on it going anywhere. This should be one of those series that I hopefully see to its end, whether that be a horrible death on the Z, or whether that be us actually winning the game and coming across our ambition, although the ambition is actually kind of hard to come by. I'm going to ignore this place for right now, and I'm actually going to go back down to Scrimshander while we run all our errands out here. We've got our fuel refilled back up. And so Scrimshander, we're not going to do any of the storyline or whatever. We're just going to swing through really, really quickly because we've got Something Awaits Us. We'll get our archive time. We'll sail around. We'll do a few more things. We'll come back. We'll get our archive time. And essentially, we'll just rinse and repeat until we've picked up a lot of the stuff on the map. We're going to be somewhat roving for now, I guess. We're going to be out and about. We're going to be, unfortunately, displaced from London. I see no reason to go back until we've got enough archive time. I'd like to get it up to 15, 20 archive time. I think we can also, actually, one of the quicker ways to do it, too, might be to bring some wine back over here as well. I may try to run a shipment of like 10 wine out here and then just trade it in for archive time. If I can get like 20 archive time, I feel a little bit better about our chances of getting down to the bottom. And if that don't do it, I'd be ridiculously surprised. We've already got everything from here, so there's no reason for us to worry about that. Let's go back to Scrimshander. I also think I have wine in my hold, actually. I do. So I can take this cask of mushroom wine and turn it in. Oh, I've got a live specimen as well. Let me see if I can do anything for him. Tasting it, he makes a strangled noise. Have you poisoned him?
No, no, no. If so, it's poison of the finest sort. Like bee stings and sugar. Or honeyed scalpels. Yes. This.
Okay, so he's got a useful ingredient. The poissonnier requires more strange catches of live specimens for his culinary research. I have fed him a lot of specimens. I think I gave him 7 or 8, and he still hasn't managed to get it sorted. I'm going to go in there right now because Scrimshander is right around the corner. And once you start getting closer, it doesn't want to let you go underwater. And I like being underwater. One of my favorite things, one of the most relaxing things in the entire world to me is swimming down to the bottom of the swimming pool. And then I let all the air out of my lungs and I just lay on the bottom and I look upwards towards the surface. And for some reason, that's really, really relaxing to me. Ooh, we can pick the bones over here. Probably not a bad plan. We can examine the engravings. We can go with the Stygian ivory. We can collect unknown toxins. Sure. You and your crew don diving suits and swim out armed with flasks and bone saws. It takes 3 of you to hold a rib in place, other 2 to wield the saw. Someone slips. It descends too fast, biting deep into the bone. There is a snap, and you are all covered in viscous liquid that spews from the break. So we gained terror, but we got 25 fragments from it, so it wasn't like the worst thing that we've ever had going. I do like how the underwater segments have a bunch of like random things that happen between the monsters, the ships you can board, and all the little random things that you can do. I like that. I wish it was actually like that above the surface too, like where there's like derelicts and kind of random islands that were generated. I think the unterzee is quite a bit more interesting than the surface in my opinion. Just because you can do little things down here without actually doing anything, if you get what I'm saying. Like you can sail around and just collect torpedoes and like Stygian ivory if you really, really want to. Alright, so we're in Scrimshander. We accept the price when we dock. I will assist the Ancient Chronicler. I'm not very good at it though, so I only get 1 time in the archives. And then we can go to... There we go. Trade wine for time in the archives, so you get 1 time in the archives per bottle that you bring over. Okay. The Drowning Chorus sits dejectedly in the corner, griping about the hero worship on display. They'll pay well if you can research the societal context of the figures on stage. Heroes are merely the products of their time. These fools celebrate a pearl and ignore the oyster that made it. Help us tell a more responsible tale and we put things right. For now, at least. Okay, so we need coffee or wine to spend time in the archives. Not too bad. I think it should be workable. We will leave. I will give you a Z story. Oh, you lose 5. That's a little troublesome. Did the price go up? I thought we only lost 1 before. That's okay. I can always farm out hunting trophies or something of the ilk. What is this right here? The Sea of Lilies. I think we've already been back over here, so that shouldn't matter. Let's head southwards. Probably to hit Khan's Shadow, maybe Port Cecil, Guider's Morn to Mo, and back over to Fallen London. I mean, technically we could just go back to London now, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And we do need to resupply on mushroom wine so that I can get some more time in the archives. I prefer to give hunting trophies. And that is a Triskelegant. I don't know what a Triskelegant is, but we are absolutely going to shoot it. Doesn't seem to be quite as violent as some of its undersea compatriots. Canceled that attack. Little bit more, and that should be the kill right there. And so down the Triskelegant goes. Let's have a look and see what we've got. We have... It spins as it dies, jetting boiling water from each of its maws with a noise like 100 mishandled kettles. A dark foamed vortex appears. We can harpoon it. We can let the beast go. I think we already sent something over there. We can avoid the maelstrom. Let's harpoon it. Oh, I failed, really. The roiling beast seems determined to drive itself further into the deep. Your vessel bucks and heaves as the maelstrom peels the plates from your hull. The beast's screeching drowns out even the sound of tormented metal until finally and mercifully the hauling line breaks. You are left listing and leaking as the beast lets out its final screech far below. We still got 1 iron from it, so it's not that bad. Permanent stat increases are always something that I will take. Something awaits us again. Oh, we've got another critter down here. A neither. A neither from the ether. It's kind of funny how that blue scintillac makes everything so much easier to slay. God, my brother-in-law. Every Christmas we gotta watch Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg. Send a crew into the carrion slick. We got plenty of crew, go for it. Of course, there's no way you could actually hear the shouts. Not through the airlock, the hull, the yards of water. Never mind the crew members who swore that they could hear every shriek and whimper of the divers you sent out in the corpse water. And besides, from what you saw, there wasn't time for screaming. The dark slick gathered around their diving suits, enfolding them like a cloak. You glimpsed one terror-contorted face through the glass of their helmet as they were bundled up in darkness, and then it was over. Only a little flotsam remained. The water was clear, as though the neither had never been. We got 5 Scintillac and lost 2 crew. Since we basically get crew for free, I don't really care about that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to try and head back to London all the way underwater, because there's a lot more interesting things to kill down here than there are on the surface. And as we slay stuff, I think we'll start to... There's an underwater settlement to the southwest. Interesting. It looks like an amalgam. I didn't realize there was any place we had missed. It looks like an amalgam of ships. It's got a dock, though, so we can head on over there and see what happens. What is this place? I wonder if it's just like a rack. Cool. I thought we were well past the point where we were going to discover anything left. Cool. So we've got to earn our entry. The wreckers surround your docked submarine. They greet you with crooked blades and rusted blunderbusses. Easy, trespasser. You want in, you prove you belong here. I wrestle them. That's right. All of them. Done. No! You launch headlong into the crowd, taking a sinewy scavenger and 2 of the fellows behind her down to the floor. You leap onto a cruel pack of poets who curse you in Greek. Flip a miner who rushes at you with a hooked knife, but the sailor who screams the Assyrian war cry puts you in a headlock and throws you back onto your submarine. The wreckers roar with laughter. You've got to show us better than that. Damn right. So the sailor who tried to get us with the Assyrian war cry, we've now headlocked. One catches you from behind in a hug. She laughs in your ear. The rest of the wreckers raise their weapons and cheer. Damn fine, trespasser. Welcome to Rock. I can buy an audience with the fair king. I can go wrecking if the fair king likes me. Provide for a disgraced tether priest so that he may provide for you. Alright, well, let me get my port report since I've never been here before. We'll take the audience with the king. The wreckers fear and adore their king. With the right offering, you may be able to meet him. The rusted walls behind him are draped with 2 banners made of the tattooed flesh of his amputated legs. He's admiring the scintillac through a jeweler's lens as you enter. We are pleased. Tell me, he says, looking at you. How would you, good God. He wheels towards you, his voice is hoarse. We're not strangers, you and I. Taste the tether. See for yourself. Okay. I can eavesdrop on wreckers now. I can visit the king. Is tasting the tether. There is a weed that grows on the broken ships. To taste it is a privilege reserved for the successful wreckers. Within the rusting innards of a broken battleship, the wreckers keep the tether. It is guarded by heavy bulwarks and priests capable of launching cannonballs across a room with their bare hands. It is the glory of Rack. It actually doesn't look like I can do much there. Alright, so I gotta wait until I got more reputation, I suppose. I'll provide for the tether priest. There was a gluttonous priest the wreckers avoid who lost his ability to experience tether after carelessly letting it touch his hand. Now he goes to debasing links to experience another vision. It is not difficult to find a private cabin. The wreckers avoid him already, and when you present him with the honey, he snatches it from your hands and slurps it down. He crumbles onto the floor, eyes glazing, his voracious bites turning into stupid nibbles. A jar of tether rolls out of his robe pocket right before he vanishes bodily. So we've got a jar full of tether to the severe alchemist who's on the utter shroom. Do they sell anything here? Alright. It cost us a considerable amount of money in order to bribe him, so let's go wrecking. Right then, trespasser.
We've heard fine things about some captains and consort. Why don't you go there and convince some to come our way?
Okay. A miner hangs on the arm of a poet. That's your best work yet. Nobody could resist. The poet shrugs. Its success all depends on the talker. The audience. But they're pretty perceptive in Port Carnelian, aren't they? I'm sure we'll have another one sink over rack in a week. Alright. So apparently I've got all kinds of stuff to do. What's the state of wreck? Stores are running low. There's enough food to subsist for a time, but the poets may soon be out of paper, and the miners won't be able to make their explosives if their powder isn't refreshed. But the fair king ensures that there is order. He goes without just as his subjects do, and he sees that those who forsake their work for despair are flogged. Oh my. I can get 12 torpedoes for parabola linen. That's 60 for 60, so that's a fair trade. I'll take it. Oh, no, you trade torpedoes for it. Oh. Oh. Well, it's 60 for 60, isn't it? Because I think that sells for 60 in London. Although I suppose it is a consistent way to get parabola linen. Well, why would you just buy it there, then? I don't know. Tough call. I suppose we're done in rack for now. We've got 10 fuel remaining. Time will tell whether or not that gets us to our destination. We found a wreck ship, whatever that means. I assume that it's not a recreational ship. It's just a bunch of foosball tables on a ship. We're playing the foosball. I miss old Adam Sandler. Although you saw it a little bit in that movie, The Do-Over. You saw it a little bit in there. There were some parts of that that really reminded me of old, like, Adam Sandler from when he was a lot younger. And I know that's kind of an ironic thing to say, the old young Sandler. Let's see here. There. It makes much more convincing wreck now that you're finished with it. We can destroy them utterly, or we can send a boarding party. Send a boarding party. You can't prepare a boarding party. Any plan goes out of the porthole the minute your boots touch the deck of a strange vessel. In this case, it seems those pirates like to play dead in person as well. Fortunately, your crew aren't the kind to be fooled twice. They return with clean cutlasses and bloodied boots. Some are even smiling. Got 2 fuel, a supply, and 130 echoes. That's the most important part, 130 echoes. Wow, that's a lot of cash for what we just accomplished. There's also something else of interest up here, which I will investigate. And we're sort of running out of time for the day. I'll give it another minute or two. Let's just see what's going on up here. Hopefully it's something useful. Ah, we found something. What is this? Encrusted protrusions of coral fix the wreck's anchor to the Z-bed. The bow was shattered on the rocks. The anchor chain groans in the current. Judging by the progress of decay in its outmoded plating, the ship has lain here since soon after London's fall. Nah, we got sailors. Your airline is extended to enable a thorough exploration. As you pick your way through the Z-bed to the wreck, you notice a weak light shining from within the ruptured bow. It illuminates a shoal of fish skirting around and away from the wreck. The cargo hold is yawning wide, offering easy entrance. Your bosun is to remain outside while the rest of you go in. She will sound the time in sevens. Be out in 14 minutes, she warns. After 7, the fear sets in. Twice that, the hallucinations. Thrice that, you'll go dark. No coming back. All right. Well, to the boiler room, I guess. Coral-shrouded furnaces line the walls. The coke has whitened and compressed. It resembles clusters of small teeth. Far off the far wall, it's collapsed. Inside, a long, hollow tube has been discarded, part of a welder's torch. All right. Let's keep going. You make for the port stairwell. The compartment, the bulkheads, the portholes are revealed in pale milk white. A ship passing in the waters above. The light goes as suddenly as it came, and you are plunged into abyssal darkness. Yeah, go for the cargo hold. Why not? A skeleton sits among broken crates. In their hands, a rotted wineskin. Their teeth are stained black. The ship groans as it tilts in the current. I mean, I figure at some point we'll succeed at one of these challenges. There we go. You press on through the murk. An old lantern crashes an iron stairwell. Your foot must have caught it as you turned a corner. You follow it down and find yourself on an unfamiliar deck. Alright, ascend to the galley. The ladder shakes as you ascend. Your engineer is waiting. They cannot speak, but they gesture ahead. They swim away into the dark. The kitchen is barren, its cupboards open to the water. Scraps of paper drift near the table. Most are indecipherable. One, written on the inside of a leather cover, reads, "We did not turn back." I guess we'll explore the cabins, maybe? Oh, and you gotta start over each time. Alright. Well, our terror is getting a little bit high, and I don't want to tempt fate too much. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. It's a pretty fun little game. It's one of my favorite games, in all honesty. We can harvest meat for supplies right there, so there's an extra supply. I will probably return when we arrive in London. We shall see how it goes, but thank you for joining me for yet another episode. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. I appreciate it.